Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the third day of 2020 Open Design Virtual Festival. Today is Future Ready Skills Day with our heads, hands, and hearts. We are live streaming directly from the beautiful V&A Waterfront in Cape Town, South Africa. My name is Ellen Fishett, and I'm a proudly African impact entrepreneur and empowerment activist based in Cape Town. I am honored to be facilitating the wonderful African journey we will be taking you on for the next few days. Yesterday, we kicked off our virtual festival with the theme, Africa is Rising. Many of you have wondered why we spell Africa with a K. More than 2,000 African languages write Africa with a K. We see Africa with a C as an external and outside view of Africa. Africa with a K is us as Africans taking ownership of our future and our destiny. It is an inward-looking perspective of our African continent. Remember to tag Open Design Africa and use our official hashtags when you share on social media. It's hashtag ODA2020, hashtag Open Design Africa, hashtag small is massive. We'd like to thank our sponsors that made all of this possible. It's the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. Thank you to the V&A Waterfront for hosting us in these beautiful and inspiring locations in association with Smile FM. And thank you also to our other media partners, Twig, the Cape Robin, Between 10 and 5, and Small Starter. And a very, very special thank you to our amazing production team from Penny Lane Studios that's been at it for 24 hours a day, literally, and to Decor for You for our beautiful setting. I'm very honored and I'm very excited to introduce you to Donald Cow. He's head of PR communications at the V&A Waterfront. Donald is a corporate communications specialist with extensive knowledge and skills in media relations, brand management, and stakeholder relations. His career spans 25 years working as a communications specialist in various capacities within the Transnet Group, a senior PR consultant, executive director, and managing director at a leading PR firm, Meropa Communications, head of corporate affairs at Santam, and current head of PR comms for the V&A Waterfront in Cape Town. Donald is not only a PR and comms person, also very socially engaged. He served on the judging panel of the Mail and Guardian's Greening the Future Award, as well as on the advisory council of the Salvation Army. Donald is currently a chairperson of Board of Trustees, member of Boys and Girls Town in South Africa. His aspiration remains to one day publish a novel. Towards this, he's completed a course on writing for fiction. I wonder what that novel is going to be about. Good morning, Donald, and welcome to Open Design Africa Festival 2020. It's an honor to have you here, so thank you for making time to join us.
Thank you very much for the great introduction. Very happy to be here with you.
Good. Donald, as you know, we have been hearing from so many creative minds and innovative minds over the past 2 days. For today, we've been set up in the beautiful Watershed, which has become a significant landmark on the V&A Waterfront. Please tell us more about the story of the Watershed, what makes it that extra special when it comes to the celebration of high quality and local African innovation and creativity.
So the Watershed opened in 2015. It was a process for us of recognizing that we had a concentration of small businesses centered around African art and design.
Mm-hmm.
Some folks who would have come here way before then would have seen sort of the red shed, the blue shed, where we had some of these craftspeople located. We had an opportunity to repurpose a very interesting old structure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an exciting one for us because we could tap into design, thinking about what sort of space this should be, who should be located within it. We brought those traders in here. We've sort of separated this into 2 levels. You've got close to or above 150 traders downstairs. We think it's one of the largest concentration of very high-end African design coming from not only South Africa, but from throughout the continent. It exposes them to the 24 million visitors that come and walk through. It's designed as almost a high street sort of environment. A lot of natural light coming in here. And in fact, when we opened it, we immediately kind of garnered awards for sort of the design of the space and how open it is. And then above it, obviously, sits Workshop 17, where we've got a lot of entrepreneurs. We've got close to 200 businesses, innovators, individual business people coming in here, collaborating, thinking about solutions for Africa, and sort of working together in an ecosystem type environment, feeding each other's ideas to come up with solutions. So we're quite proud of the space. And I think when visitors come through and walk through and see what it is, we get a lot of positive feedback about it.
Great. And I mean, that's the feeling when you walk through here. For those of you who unfortunately, well, everyone couldn't join us today, really, as we've got viewers from all over the world. And I hope that next year we'll be hosting the festival live and everyone will be here to witness the beauty. And as you say, this mini ecosystem of entrepreneurs and creators and designers. There is a beautiful piece the back of us.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about It's the Joy of Africa?
The campaign itself is called Joy of Africa. To the world. And the opportunity that led to this, I think from a contextual point of view, was that, we've been on a journey. In 2017, we committed to eliminate single-use plastics within the V&A environment. It's a mammoth task if you kind of imagine the amount of plastic wastage that's produced here. We looked at our festive decorations, and everybody who goes to a mall would kind of have a sense of how much decorations go up. And so we kind of looked at that and thought, here was an opportunity for us to bring through this message of repurposing materials, using recyclable materials, and we could put that into the idea of how we were going to conceptualize the decorations for the festive. This is but one piece that in fact was part of the design. This one in particular is made by our workshop, which is based in Langa. It's an NGO. Heath Nash runs it. You've got young people and women working in there, and we commissioned them to kind of conceptualize this piece, which is made up of bottles of sort of soap detergent, conceptualized into these very colorful flowers. This is just one concept. We rolled a lot of this sort of idea into the actual mall itself throughout the property, where if you walked around, you saw Christmas decorations made up of sustainable recycled materials. It gave work opportunities to over 140 artisans.
Oh, wow.
We could create livelihoods over a festive period leading up to it, where people and crafters from not only Cape Town, but from the rest of the country and even from Africa, who kind of lent their creativity to bringing to life this idea of joy from Africa to the world, because we wanted to also tap into the sense of the artisans and skills that Africans have, and then to tell that in an African, or tell the festive story in an African way.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you say that, because today is exactly about that, about future skills, about using hand and heart, and with the current situation in the world and how we need to propel ourselves as Africans, we need to shine and show our creativity. So I'm very curious, Donald, you are a communication specialist. You tell the story, you craft stories. What would you advise young and upcoming communication experts in Africa to consider when they're telling their story at a global level? Because, you mentioned 24 million people or walking through the door. What would you advise them?
I think there is a huge opportunity with the degree to which we are all a lot more connected. We are connected digitally. We've got platforms that allow us to engage directly with one another. But the key element of it is that there is an interest, I think, from all peoples all around the world to learn more about each other. And the opportunity to tell authentic stories, let that come through. Let the stories of what the real experience of places come through, and that's really is where the big opportunity, I think, for us. We've seen the reaction to people when we did this festive campaign, for example. I mean, here we are in Cape Town. The traditional way to tell the story of Christmas or festive is a very westernized one, and here we had an opportunity to really bring ideas that were from locals about how we could tell that story, and it compels us to continue to do that story, to continue to be authentic in the way in which we interpret our environment and put that out into the environment. Of course, what's key is to have people within the business, and I'm surrounded by a great marketing team that conceptualizes how we should bring this African story of Cape Town to life. But key to it, as I said, is we have a huge interest in learning about each other. Do not be afraid to tap into that and let those stories come through, and really be ready to demonstrate what that story is about.
I like that you're telling us, to tell our authentic stories, that the global market is interested, but not only the global, the African continent,
Sure.
to tap into our networks and our very much our spirit of being connected and being part of a group. And thirdly, in line of today, you're saying, demonstrate your skill and show that.
Yeah.
So, wow. Donald, thank you very much. Thank you for making time. I know it's busy, so I really appreciate you coming in, telling us the story of the Watershed. It's absolutely magnificent, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you very much, and we're really looking forward to the ideas that we are getting from the participants that are working with you. It feeds our ecosystem thinking, and we'll be able to do more with you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Can we move up? That was Donald Cow that joined us, head of PR and communications at the Waterfront. We're going to be going into our first session. To those of you who have just joined us, welcome to Open Design Africa. It's our virtual festival, the first time we're having a virtual festival. In a world characterized by transition, change, and adaptation, the role of design and creativity should never be understated. Amidst the COVID-19 pandemic and vast changes in everyday life, Open Design Africa is recommitting to its mission to focus on development of humanity through the power and celebration of design-led innovation and creativity that affect systemic change, that increase African value, pride, and ignite and unlock new African ideas, so that we come up with solutions and aspirations to design a thriving future for all of us. Since 2013, founder and executive director of Open Design Africa, Suné Stassen, has been driving the Open Design Africa platform with an optimistic, mindful, and solutions-driven, holistic, and inclusive approach. As the visionary behind this new established virtual platform, she explains more about what needs to drive all of us to create the world we are all seeking. How STEAM education, science, technology, engineering, arts, and maths education, and the integration of creativity across the education system will shape a strong foundation and value chain for the future. So I want to share the following message from Suné with all of you. The human race has succeeded in engineering an unjust and often destructive world for living in. We believe that in solidarity, we have the capacity and the ability to design the exact opposite, but then we have to shift our priorities to develop relevant future skills and creative intelligence. We must invest wisely in appropriate human capital that's underpinned by empathy and emotional intelligence, agility, resourcefulness, holistic and critical thinking. Future skills that are optimized and are underpinned by creativity. To succeed in the future, it will be imperative to invest equally in humanity and technology. This balance will be crucial for humanity, our planet, and circular economies to flourish in. The time is now to write the most important design brief since our existence. We need to design and develop new world orders and strategies for inclusive and appropriate education, systems, services, flourishing environments, prosperous circular economies, and human cities, so that we collectively can design our preferred futures and deliver on the demands of this future with purpose and agility. It's not only crucial to create conducive, playful, and inclusive learning environments, but also to develop creative and emotional intelligence, to nurture critical thinking and problem-seeking and solving abilities, design thinking, and other future skills. Doing so is an imperative to unlock and optimize new potential in all children, change mindsets, change behavior, which will empower and enable them to develop new aspirations to design their preferred futures. Today, Open Design Africa is calling on all of you to invest in the integration of creativity across all curricula so that we can strike a much needed balance in developing the whole brain of every child. If we collectively action small seeds of change everywhere, then suddenly small becomes massive. Today at Future Ready Skills Day, with heads, hands, and hearts, we will explore exciting global and African examples of disruption, hacking, skills, and resources required for basic education and the important future role of impact and design education. Through the integration of creativity from kindergarten and with STEAM education across the education system, we will invest in humanity and develop future skills of every child. This will empower them with the human skills that's needed to shape a symbiotic relation with the machine in order to create their own thriving futures and add real value, significance, and meaning to the world of purpose-driven businesses, flourishing environments, and thriving communities. Our first session today is we are going to be exploring the concept of empathy and emotional intelligence. To those of you, welcome back, that are joining us on the third day of Open Design Africa. Our theme today is Future Ready Skills Day. We're using our heads, our hands, and our hearts, and we're focusing on appropriate education and key future skills to develop thriving futures. So we're focusing on the future of humanity, on the young minds that we need to empower and enable so that they can design their own preferred futures as part of a world they will be proud to live, work, and play in. Open Design Africa is recommitting our mission to pledge design to a better world as we live stream our online festival straight from the V&A Waterfront in #Cape Town, #South Africa. #Small is massive. I'm honored today to kick off today's first session by introducing Alex Bell, who will also be moderating this session. Our moderator, as I mentioned, is Alex Bell. He's founding director of Portland Education in the UK. With over 2,000 hours of leadership and innovation, coaching experience, and 6 years of bespoke vision to strategy consultancy for schools and NGOs in the UK and globally. Alex was named the Education Catalyst of 100.org's Global Ambassador of the Year for 2020 and is their lead ambassador to the UK. As well as being a sought-after executive coach globally, Alex also is passionate about creating and promoting platforms for youth voice from all parts of the world. He's the co-founder of nonprofit X Talks with Anna Keys, founder of Maloto.org in Malawi. X Talks is included in the 100 global collection of the top 100 education innovations in the world for 2020. Alex is also co-founder of LinkOnlineLearners, which is included in the OECD and 100 COVID-19 Solutions Spotlight for 2020. He's co-founder and curator of Our Chance, the world's first free online family festival about education futures. Alex is co-founder of Global Crisis Leadership, Innovation, Leadership Lemonade, and runs leadership development programs for schools on and offline throughout the year. I'd like to introduce the following speakers that will be joining Alex in this next session. Blessing Akpan. Blessing Akpan is from Nigeria. He's the co-founder of LinkOnlineLearners. Blessing Akpan is a young innovator, educator with a strong background in integrating and implementing both project-based learning models and educational technologies in classroom with Google Tools for education and Adobe Creative Tools. Blessing is renowned for championing online and offline campaigns around themes of educational development to positively impact our community and wider world. Gaby Immelman, who has just joined us here in our virtual lounge, is from Cape Town. She's the founder of Mindjoy and an advocate and implementer for STEAM education. Gaby is a learning and designing teaching artist. She designs emergent curriculum and creative projects for primary school aged children. She's passionate about building resilience and motivation through exploration and play. Welcome, Gaby. Nisha Ligon is also joining us. She's from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, founder of Ubongo, Africa's leading kids edutainment company. Nisha Ligon is co-founder and CEO of Ubongo. They have over 17 million kids across Africa that learn every day with Ubongo's popular animated TV and radio programs, Akili and Me, and Ubongo Kids. And last but not least, we have Dr. Anna Keys, founder of Maloto and